Hello everybody, it's Patty here with Patty Stitches. Today is August the 3rd, 2026, and this is episode 354. On today's show, I have whips to show you and I have plans, so sit back and relax. Grab your beverage of choice, water for me, your craft of choice, and let's chat. So how has everybody been? I've been okay. I've been hanging out at the house, doing a little bit of stitching, a little bit of knitting, going to see my friends at Knit Group, which is fun, the kiddos, and have been coming over, not every Sunday, but they come over pretty regularly. And we went one afternoon to Tanana Lakes, which is a recreation area here, not very far from our house. And we tried to get in the water with a canoe, but it was not liking me at all. So I didn't go. The hubs did. The kids tried fishing, and the fish weren't biting, but they had a great time. There's a little playground, so they played there first. But it was a lot of fun for them, and it was fun for me because I got to sit and stitch. Knit. I knit. I don't stitch in public. I knit in public. So yeah, it was fun though. I had a really good time. The mosquitoes weren't too terrible. So, it was good. Let's see what else. They've been coming around, playing here at the house. They have started the Halloween store early. I broke down and let them, as long as they clean it up and put it in the toy room before they leave, they can have Halloween store. Since they don't come over every weekend anymore, it's not so bad. In the Halloween store, I just don't want it set up and left until probably the week of Halloween. Then I will let them set whatever they want to up, and then I'll move it outside Halloween night or Halloween day, and then move it back in at Halloween night, because it's cold here. You shouldn't leave those things outside. If you don't know, I live in Fairbanks, Alaska, so yeah, it gets cold here. And in fact, it's really not warmed up. It hasn't hit 80s like it usually does in the summertime. And in fact, today it's rainy and smoky because there is a fire somewhere, and the wind shifted, I believe, yesterday or the day before, and now the smoke is in the air because it's looking a little hazy out there. So yeah, at least it's not hot where we have to have the windows open. So this one is actually not bad, but it could go. That would be nice. Anything else? I had a friend who is moving because of health reasons. So she gave me a lot of her pattern stash. So thank you very much for those pattern stashes. I have them in my folder. She gave me there was a folder of them, so I just moved all of my stuff into her folder, and when I get to them, I will tell you that this was one of the gifted projects. So I thank her very much for that. And in fact, I think I'll show one of her works. She gave me the patterns to this Easter, and this is one of her things that she did. I did tell her that I would I gave the projects I don't ever see myself working on. I gave them to charity here in town, and these Easter patterns aren't one I would normally do. So, but yeah, she gave me the pattern or the project and the fabric, so I will figure out what to do with this. So it's so cute. But yeah, so thank you very much for that. Let's see, anything else exciting going on? Not really. Just hanging out here, living the life like we all do. So shall we get on with the stitching? I think so. Okay, so Gamer Nouveau did come out quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, and it is charted by Gecko Rouge. Art is by Medusa Dollmaker. And as you know, I'm stitching this on 25 count easy guide, 1/1. And the last time you guys saw it, I had just started in the corner. So this is the edge of the page. So I have got to the edge of the page. So the diagonal won't get any bigger, but it will just keep coming on down. So that's where this one is at. Liking it still. I think I'm like at 30-some% done. So that's pretty good. Okay, and then I pulled out another full coverage, which is Starry Night of the Living Dead, and this is by Unconventional X Stitch. And I bought this when their shop burnt down, so I bought this in solidarity for them. And I love it. I'm stitching this one also on 25 count, easy guide 1/1. I filled in the black for the first 2 pages. I don't know if I'll do that again. I would like to be able to do extreme cross country. I think it would be really fun to do, but it also makes it kind of difficult because trying to figure out where you're at sometimes it's kind of hard when you've already got colors there. But it looks like I'm at the edge of the page there. So this is a full page right there. So that's pretty exciting. And I just love the colors. The colors are great. Very, very great. Okay. Then I worked on Ink Circles, Another Year Creeps By. This is on 32 count Helix Lugana by Picture This Plus. And I'm using the Called For Floss on this. So I didn't take it out of the frame, but I did finish the second row of borders. So this is the first or the third row of borders. So the first block, but the third row. So I believe I can get this accomplished. If I keep working on it like I have been lately, I can get this row completed and start working on the motifs before Halloween. I almost said Easter, before Halloween. That is my goal for the year. Okay, I pulled out Miss Prim's Skull Gardens, and I am working on Skulls Behind the Fence, which is this project right here. I am stitching this on 32 count Prairie Land by Atomic Ranch. And I'm almost done. So I'll show you here. I have all of these done. I finished this one and I'm on that one. So let me show you. So here is the short skull. And then here's the tall skull. I need to do a little swirl and then his area. And then I'm finished with this one. So I can definitely get this one done during October. So if I don't get it done before then, it'll definitely be done in October. Okay. So I also worked on Plum Pudding by Glendon Place. I'm using 28 count Sprite Cashel by Picture This Plus, which is the Called For fabric, and I'm using the Called For floss as well. Okay, and I just finished this motif. I didn't do a whole lot on this. I believe I had just started the motif, so that's so got that one. Okay, and the last project that I worked on since I talked to you guys last, of course, is my stitch along with Modern Folk Embroidery, Little Acorns. I'm using 36 count Winter Brew by R&R, and I'm using Silks for You red and black. The animals are black and the other motifs are red. I have not put in the date or the initials. I am thinking about putting my mom and dad's initials in there because I'm their little acorn. So, and the date, I'm not sure. I could do the date they were married. Since they died in 2 different years, I could put each of their different date in there. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the date yet, but I did keep up with this one, guys. I am keeping up with this one. I did finish my July project, and I even started the August one. And the September one I had already started, but had a huge line of floss left. So when I finished July, as you see, July is all done. Let me move the thing there. There we go. July is all done. August, it has started. So July, August, September. So I finished July, went down to September, and did the line of floss that I had left, and then started August. So August, before I did it this last time, already had this done. So I did the bird, these motifs, and then started this bird. So I'm very happy. I am at a point where I have to do 343 stitches a week on this to have it done by Christmas Eve, the 24th of December. So that is my goal. I'd like to finish it before then. Sometimes I get big bursts of wanting to stitch on this on Friday and Saturday, so sometimes I do end up getting more than 300, but yeah, it was at 400 at one point, so I'm clipping down that number, chipping it down there, chipping that number down. But this one comes out every Friday for those of you who are new or didn't realize that. So this comes out every Friday. Sometimes it doesn't get a lot of stitches, so Saturday it gets stitched on as well. So it just stays in its little frame so that I don't have to keep undoing it. So that's where we are at. So August is already going. So super excited. That, my friends, is all that I stitched on since the last time I talked to you. I have been knitting a pair of socks for the hubs. I'm still working on the first one. It's out hand spun, so maybe next time I show you, I'll come to you, I'll show you it. It's out in my car because I use it for a knitting group. And I'm knitting a blanket as well that my mom was going to crochet a blanket, so I got her 4 skeins of really soft acrylic yarn. She ended up not doing it, so I have them, and I decided I would do the 10 stitch blanket. It wasn't in the round, it's the square one, because there's a 10 stitch square, the 10 stitch round, and I think there's a 10 stitch star, but I'm not gonna, don't quote me on that one. Yeah, so that's all the stitching I got done in the last couple of weeks. I still am playing Thread Walker Saga by, who is this, Fox? Let me see. The Wild Fox Stitchery, and she is on Facebook if you want to find her. She did, I don't think I told you guys this, she did expand it. She went an expanded game, so now you can get all the way up to 2,000 stitches per session. So if you really want a good game that'll help you kind of keep track of what you're stitching and play along and buff up your character, this one's a fun one. So I am now in the 800s. I finished this one, and this one I'm using for gamer, except for football season, and I'll talk about that next. But I'm on the second 800 before buffing up. So very exciting. She's on YouTube as well. You can find out all the information from her YouTube. Thread Walker Saga. It's a fun game. Okay. Football season is upon us. I watch the NFL. So I decided to jump in on the Gridiron Grind, which is a sub game by Full Coverage Fanatics. So you pick a team, and win or lose, you stitch how many stitches you want per point. And then you have to stitch on a different one for the opponents. Win or lose, stitches per point. So I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. So if you follow the NFL, you know who my team is. Yeah, it's the Cleveland Browns. Poor Browns. So I may be shooting myself in the foot here, but I am going to do 20 stitches per point for the Cleveland Browns, and I am going to be using Starry Night of the Living Dead. I want to get this a big jump on this project because it's 200 by 200. I think there's 40,000 stitches. I should have wrote it down here. And I'm only on page 1. I would like to get this huge jump on this one. So I said each week. That's the other thing is when it starts, it's each week. So 20 stitches per point for the Cleveland Browns. Now their opponents, this is probably why I'm going to cry. I decided to do 10 stitches per point on Once Upon a Fairy Tale. So this one will get a lot of love as well. At least, you know, once a week they will get love. So Gamer may be kind of set aside. It all depends on the amount of stitches because I do want to keep up with it. I don't want to get to where I have to do at the end of the season tons of stitches and cry. So and playoffs, I mean, if I have to catch up during the playoffs, then I'll, you know, I can do that and won't be stitching during the playoffs most likely. I probably just jinxed them, but come on, realistically, did I really? Anyway, that is my goal for Gridiron Grinds, and it will also be doubled with Walker Saga. I'll use both of the full coverages to mark off as much as I can on my Walker Saga. So, plans. Those are the plans. The preseason game, let's see, the Hall of Fame game, I believe, is the 6th. And the preseason games start right after that. So I will be doing the stitching also during preseason. So, yeah, we will go with it this way. That's my plans for the full coverages. I will still be working on Little Acorn. This is going to be hectic, I think. You may only see at the end of August or the beginning of September. You may only see those 3 projects. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that I can squeeze in other stuff to keep you guys entertained and coming back. I probably will only be doing a video once a month. I have really liked this calming way of doing the videos now. It all depends on my phone because I'm running out of memory, and it depends on how much stitching I really do get done. That's kind of why I've backed off since I'm not doing as much. And I don't like to do 5 or 10 minute videos, so I kind of like to have it a little bit longer. Like this one is on 18 minutes now. So, you know, this one at least is kind of worth, to me, and hopefully to you guys, worth watching. Yeah. So, looking around, I really don't have anything else to talk to you guys about. I hope that you are all staying safe, healthy, and happy. And I hope that whatever you craft it to your heart's content. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.